Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Monday at Quad Radio. It's Mechanic Monday, February 13th, and we say hello and welcome to our mechanic featured this Monday. It is from the Ballance Racing Yamaha team. It is Mr. Broc Booth. Hello, Broc. How's things going, buddy?
Going pretty good, Rodney. How about yourself?
Hey, man, not too bad. You know, I got some race results in from this past weekend. I know that folks are just now starting to get warmed up as far as the season is concerned, and some pretty cool things going on down there in North Carolina. You ever heard of this place called Rattlesnake Ridge?
No, I can't say that I've heard of that one.
Well, I guess this is something that's becoming somewhat of a tradition for some of the GNCC racers, and it's pretty neat, and it sounds like a pretty good race there this past weekend on Saturday. I got some information out of there, and it sounds like that Dave Simmons, believe it or not, you know, one of the top 50-plus riders in GNCC racing, got the pro hole shot with Kevin Yoho back in the second-place position. And Yoho, I guess, led a good part of the race, and about second to the last lap, he and Wolf got in a pretty good battle, and Wolf got around him, and about 26-second lead at the checker flag. So Wolf took the win. Yoho took second. Brian Cook took a third-place position. Newcomer, remember this kid last year was racing in races in the GNCC in the College A class, and Braden Henthorn took a fourth-place position with Eric Hoyland, the Hurricane, rounding out the top five. So that's some pretty neat information, I think, to kick off a Monday for sure here on Mechanic Monday. And good to have you on board with us, Broc. I know I kind of shifted gears there on you for just a moment, but I thought that was pretty neat to hear some great racing information up out of North Carolina coming in from us.
Yeah, that's good. You know, everybody's doing their off-season thing right now, kind of getting prepared however they feel is best. And, you know, it sounds like all those guys are, you know, some of those guys were mostly guys that are up north and maybe work real jobs and can't get down south as much as some of the rest of us are able to sometimes. And, you know, real good info coming in there, sounds like. That's the first time I got a chance to hear of it. So we've been down in Florida for the past week doing some chalk testing ourselves, and kind of had our head down and kind of not had our head out into the, you know, hear what all has been going on the last week or so. We've been really focused on a suspension test with Olin that we had this last week. So, you know, all that stuff is good info to catch up here on Monday morning.
Yeah, for sure. And let me ask you, I know I read some tweets this past weekend, Thomas Brown talking about doing some testing. Was he involved in the testing that you guys were doing this past weekend?
Yeah, him and Ken took a flight in and come in on the end of the week there on Thursday. We went up to a place where he's been staying at and training up in around Tampa. And we, you know, even though he's injured right now, we, you know, Bill rode the bike some, and others were there and rode the bike some, and we kind of get a good starting place, you know, because once he does get back ready to get back on the quad, it's only going to be about a week or two before it's going to be race time for them. So trying to get ahead of the game for Thomas and get his stuff all, you know, a good starting point so that when he does come back, we're, you know, got a good place to start. It shouldn't take as long to get his setup ready to go.
For sure. And I guess both Taylor and Walker were there in attendance for this testing.
For sure, no doubt. Yeah, we were all there. We kind of, you know, headquartered ourselves there out of the Kaiser Plantation and made trips over to Thundercross each day. And we had our guy Terry over from Sweden, so he was in town and got some good testing done and got our Florida setups in pretty good shape and, you know, a good start on things here. So we're really looking forward to this season. We're probably worked harder this off season than I can ever remember. To say the least, this Ballance Racing Yamaha team is hungry.
I don't doubt that a bit. And, of course, that's pretty obvious. Talking with Taylor, I hear he got a win a couple of weeks ago down in Florida as well. That was pretty exciting, it sounds like.
Yeah, Taylor had a good race there. You know, some things were working good. And, like I say, we've been working hard with motor experts over the past couple months here on our motor program. And now that we've got a good motor program set and ready to go for this year, we're focusing back on our suspension, and, you know, everything's working really good. So, you know, we can't say enough about how the bike's working. Both the guys are been down in Florida at Taylor's place for a couple months now, and they're hitting it hard. And, you know, like I say, prepared, I believe, is what we are.
That's great. And Brock, you know, we've watched every one of you guys grow through the ranks as far as the ATV GNCC is concerned. And, you know, we watched Taylor work his way up from the amateurs to the pro-ams and to the pros, and Walker from the youth to the amateurs to the pro-ams to the now to the pro XC1 pro class. And it seems like you've kind of been a guy back there in the shadows for the last several years, and though we know who you are as far as when we see you, hey man, there's Brock, and you know you're a great guy and this and that, but you know I think the big question on a lot of people's mind, where exactly did you come from? How did you get involved with GNCC and Ballance Racing and all that, man?
Well, that is a definitely interesting story, strange story to say the least, and mostly it all started when this little punk we all may remember named BJ or Brandon Ballance, as some of them know, transferred into my high school, and we started playing high school golf together. About my sophomore year of high school, he transferred to we were a stronger golf team than where he was currently going to high school at, and transferred in, and we started playing high school golf together, and then the whole racing thing, you know, being named after Brock Glover, the multi-time national motocross champion, I guess it's just in your blood. And, you know, so all that was already interested in riding and racing and all that stuff. Just my parents just really couldn't afford to, you know, bring me up with youth ranks and things like that. So when I got old enough to start working myself and all that stuff, bought an ATV off of them, and they took me to my first ever Mid-South Woods race, and we took from there on out. Raced a lot on my own with a buddy of mine, then went to racing motocross dirt bikes for a while. A buddy of mine named Derek Denson, local pro around here, and then he ended up getting hurt around 03, I believe it was. So decided, hey, well, we'll go back to racing four-wheelers again. So hooked back up with BJ and Bill, and rode a couple of GNCC seasons, 6 or 7 races a year there, and you know, was just sitting in bed one night and said, hey, I've probably gone as far with this as I can go. I've had a lot of fun, but what could I do to, you know, still be involved? I love this. This is, you know, my whole life is around this, and still be involved and do what I can do. And BJ, that was the 04 season, I think, for him. He had a few times where, you know, maybe some mechanicals come along or whatever, and I just went to him and said, hey, what about in 05 if I just, you know, start helping you, and we can, you know, we'll play it by ear, see how it goes. And we started in the 05 season and come out and had a strong race in Florida, and I think he got on the podium there. And, you know, it just never knew how much this part of it would just strike a match and love it, and just being involved in the whole shooting match there. And so there on, it just kind of kicked in, and we started wrench for BJ from, I believe it was the 05 to 08 seasons, and then, you know, injuries and financial toes kind of took its toll on him, and he kind of had to back down and start farming again. And so the 09 season was when the fuel-injected bike come out, and we put a lot of research and development into that, and started getting involved with the Fowler program. Had those guys come out, and, you know, Yamaha wanted them to come out and us get to know them and kind of see how they were in the family and all that stuff. He was making his name, and that relationship was just an instant match, you know, fired up and was really good, and we liked them and they liked us, and everybody got along real well, and kind of helped them out with just odd and end stuff through their A-class year, and a little bit through his, you know, we did a little bit more, and or we helped him out with his A-class year, and then it was kind of like, well, you know, I wanted more to be involved, and they were, you know, I seen that they were needing some help, so we just said no, and I was like, well, why don't we just team up here and for his first pro-ams of the season, and we started doing, you know, a lot more for him, and then last year it was like, you know what, I believe we see a more need, and I'm just going to commit to being Walker Fowler's main mechanic. I'm going to do everything, and Danny, you take care of his practice stuff, and I'll make sure all the race stuff shows up at the race ready to go. And it's, as you can see, 13 for 13 last year. It just, you can't even dream up a season that went as good for us as last year.
No doubt. That was a pretty great season. And, you know, as much credit as Walker Fowler gets for that, Brock, you bring up a pretty important point there, man. 13 for 13, no mechanical failures or nothing major that kept him from finishing any races. That's pretty spectacular stuff right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say. I just, you know, I put a lot of work into this. You know, unfortunately, there's not enough money there for me to do this full time, so I do have to work a real job, and I'm very fortunate to have a job in a great bunch of bosses that I work for that give me the time, and I'm able to do this on top of that, and it's just really awesome to be able to commit, the kind of time it takes to make sure that happens, and so it's just I've been blessed. I've had a great time. It's been I can't even say enough for what the Ballance Racing opportunity has been for me and allowed me to do, and the places I get to go and the people I get to meet, and it's just really awesome.
Well, man, let me ask you this. What other things do you do besides work your magic on the ATVs that Walker Fowler races? I mean, what other things? It seems like that would be a full-time job in and of itself. So what else do you do besides that?
I work for Bluegrass Sailor, which is we're our own cell phone company here in Central Kentucky. I'm what they call a field engineer for them. So I'm actually sitting here at a cell site right now talking to you, doing a couple of Ethernet things on a microwave radio. And so it's, I say it's a great job, but it's also a job that I'm able to work around the racing thing. So
wow.
It's pretty much, it is like two full-time jobs. I pretty much do put as much time in the shop as I do at here. And, I guess that's why I'm still a single man, because there just ain't much time to do anything else.
Wow, dude. I had so much respect for you, but so much more respect for you now than you'll ever even realize. That's pretty awesome to hear, Broc. And you are a multi-talented individual. There's no doubt about that. So going on now, what are we looking at towards the rest of the off-season, the preseason, however you want to classify this? What are you guys going to be doing between now and River Ranch?
Pretty much at this point, it's race bike building time. Just got a lot of parts coming in. Taylor's going to have a lot of parts coming in his place down there. He's building his bikes down there. I'm going to be building Walker's bikes up here. We've got the Indy Dealer Show next weekend, I believe, in Indianapolis. So we'll probably make an appearance up there maybe on Saturday. And other than that, I think I counted yesterday, we're down to probably within 20 to 25 days of leaving here and heading back south again. So a lot to get done here over the next few weeks. And, like I say, I've got two bikes sitting there with nothing but A-arms, and that's it on them. So waiting on some motor components to come back from CV4 and motor experts to put back together. And we got our suspension set up this last week, so all that stuff's ready to go on. And, working with Lone Star this year with our A-arm and suspension components, and that stuff's went really well. I can't say enough about that. And all the other sponsors that we have, we just got a great package in these hard economic times. We're still able to put together a really good package, and Yamaha's back with us again, and GNCC and everybody else that is a major part of our program. I just can't say enough thanks to all the people that that help and give us the opportunity to go do what we love to do, and all that good stuff. So.
That's awesome, man, to see your dedication, dude. I want to say thanks to you for taking the time out here on Monday. I also want to ask you to stop by the Quad Radio Facebook page there and check out the polls, see who you think's going to win the 2012 GNCC Championship. We also have a poll for the ATV Motocross, so check it out and cast your vote, all right?
All right, man, that sounds awesome. Like I say again, I just want to take an opportunity to thank, all our sponsors, Ballance Racing, Yamaha, GYTR, Worst Connection, Moto Experts, Lone Star, Owens, Maxxis, DP Brakes. There's tons here. I'm sure I'm leaving a lot out, but I just want to thank all those guys. We will be trying to get a press release out here on all that stuff out here in the next little bit. That's also something between the website and the press releases, and I try to work with getting a lot of that stuff done as well. And just also want to thank everybody that also comes to balanceracing.net. And if you need something for your ATV, that's also a part of what Ballance Racing does. Is we offer everything we race for sale, and definitely want to make sure everybody's aware of that, that you can take the same thing to the line that we take to the line. And, because that's a big part of our program as well, is not only do we go racing, but we also try to have something that everybody else can go racing with as well.
That is awesome, man. That is so awesome. And again, that's balanceracing.net. That's Broc Booth. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio.